Hi, this is Joe Horner with University of Missouri Agricultural Business and Policy Extension Program. Today we're going to talk about the Coronavirus Food Assistance Program, CFAP for livestock. We're talking about it today because sign-up starts May 26th, Tuesday, May 26th. As an overview, the Coronavirus Food Assistance Program provides direct relief to producers due to COVID-19 price and income losses. There's been up to $16 billion in total funding available from various federal sources, the CARES Act, CCC, etc. Eligible commodities must have either a 5% or greater price decline, which beef cattle certainly have, or experienced market supply chain disruptions due to COVID-19, which cattle certainly have. This is our current understanding of the CFAP program. Keep in mind it's subject to change depending on FSA implementation, and your USDA Farm Service Agency is the final authority on all program details. Let's jump right into livestock payments. What are producers going to get paid and how are they going to get paid? It's important to keep in mind two components of this. The CARES Act funding is going to have one payment rate for any livestock you sold between January 15th and April 15th, 2020. The CCC is going to have a different payment rate, and they're going to pay you on your highest inventory of livestock on a per head basis between April 16th and May 14th. Keep in mind, we're past May 14th, so there's no opportunity to change anything about your production system. It's just based on the number of head you sold January 15th, April 15th, and total number of head on your place at the highest point between April 16th and May 14th. So let's look at the table below at the cattle as an example for the payment rates. Now in this example, for the CFAP program, cattle definition does not include dairy cattle. Dairy cattle are being paid on basis of milk. So unless you're raising dairy beef in a feedlot or growing dairy beef, you won't take advantage of this part of the program. But let's just say feeder cattle less than 600 pounds, if you sold them between January 15th and April 15th, 2020, under that second to the right-hand column, the CARES Act payment rate, you're going to get $102 per head for anything less than 600 pounds that you sold during that period for feeder calves. And then we've got different weight categories and different payment rates. The column on the far right that says CCC payment rate is based, you're going to get paid on the total inventory of animals you have on the farm between April 16th and May 14th, according to the category of the livestock. So in this example, those feeder calves less than 600 pounds, you'll be paid $33. Let's take an example, jump to an example now. Let's take an example of a roughly 100 cow beef cow operation with some spring cows and spring calves and fall calves. Now let's say that they sold some livestock between January 15th and April 15th. They had 40 head of calves that weighed less than 600 pounds. They sold those between January 15th and April 15th. They're going to get the CARES rate of $102 a head on those 40 head of animals. And if they sold, say, 5 cull cows, mature headed cull cows, they're going to get $92 on those cull cows. So the payments they're going to get on the feeder calves they sold between January 15th and April 15th are $4,080, and on those 5 cull cows, $460. So their total payment for the calves they sold and cull cows they sold between January 15th and April 15th is $4,540. Now at the same time, they still had a lot of cows on the place. They still had their 100 head of cows, and they had 50 head of spring calving calves on the ground. So let's look at the table below to look at what they're going to get paid based on those CCC rates. 100 cows, $33 a head, highest inventory between April 16th and May 14th, $3,300. 50 head of feeder calves, lightweight feeder calves, spring calves, they're still going to get paid $33, total of $1,650. So in total, but they're getting paid for the inventory of $3,300 plus $1,650 equals $4,950. Now keep in mind, if you sold cattle and you also had inventory of calves, you can get paid on both of these programs per this example. So in this case, the person would get $4,540 for livestock sold in that early spring period, and then they get additional $4,950 based on the inventory of animals they had on the place between that April 16th and May 14th. Now, payment structure. Producers will receive 80% of their maximum payment based upon approval of their application. So the sooner you get it in, the sooner you get it approved, the sooner you get paid. FSA will keep the remaining 20% to make sure there's enough funds left to pay at a later date if the funds are available. So count on 80% of the calculated payment rates we just went through. Program sign-up begins Tuesday, May 26, 2020, and it ends August 28, 2020. You apply at your local FSA Farm Service Center. Keep in mind they're operating under conditions of an epidemic, so make appointments by phone only. Try to do as much as possible by mail, fax, hand delivery, or electronic means. All the forms you need are available on the farmers.gov/CFAP website. And after May 26th, there will be a CFAP payment calculator and video on how to use it on that website. How do you prepare? If you've worked with FSA in the past, it's going to be fairly simple. If you haven't, they're probably going to go through name and address, your personal information, tax ID number, your operating structure, your adjusted gross income compliance, and your direct deposit information so that your checks can go directly to the bank. Self-certification is all that's required as far as inventory records and sales. You are going to want to keep your documentation, though, because you are subject to an audit and you will be responsible for being in compliance with your numbers. Eligibility, as long as you made less than $900,000 a year for 2016, 17, and 18, you're eligible. If you made more than that, but at least 75% of it, your adjusted gross income is coming from farming, ranching, or forestry, you're still going to be available. You're still going to be eligible. The payment limitations on a per person or per legal entity is $250,000. But if you've got a corporate entity, an LLC, a limited partnership, one shareholder, your payment limitation is $250,000. Two shareholders, $500,000. Three or more shareholders, $750,000 is the payment limitation. For more information, go to farmers.gov/CFAP, or feel free to contact one of your local University of Missouri Ag Business and Policy Extension specialists. Thank you.